G'day, welcome to Scrap Mechanic. Someone asked me a question on how does the train stay on the tracks the best. I'll just do a quick demo on how the bogie is created. So what I'm doing here is just highlighting the front wheels are made onto the train. The front and rear wheels actually are made to help guide the train. So I'm actually making it 2 tyres on the side. I'm using a suspension piece and blocks to get a bearing at the bottom, and we'll put the other tyre on. Oh, the smaller one. The smaller tyre is the inner tracking tyres. Now what we need to do is the large tyres line up on the edge of this tyre here. So what I'm going to just put a block on just to give us an indicator of where it needs to go. So the actual tyre the big tyres will line up at that height. So there's a square in here which is where the rails run. So I'll put that on as well, just as temporary for us, so we can see what's going on. And it actually helps visualize. Actually, I'll do it differently. It helps visualize where the tyres are actually running. So I'll pull this, extend this outways. I'll get back to the front of this. Where am I going? And the actual rail that we're running on looks like this. So it's actually on the big tyres are running on the tyre, and then this tyre is keeping. Actually, I'll rephrase that. The track. Yeah, sorry, no, that is correct. The track runs in that position. So what I'll do is I'll quickly build this out to show you how it all goes together. So we've actually got blocks coming out here, and we just got to position our bearing position for the front tyre. Put that in there. So now we don't need all the scaffold blocks. We've got our position for our big front tyres, so we're running with 2 of them. The reason why we're running with 2 is when we go around a corner, we've got more better ability to have something touching the track. The other thing is the track is 2 blocks tall. If you've got it 1 block tall, this tyre stack can fall outside the rail and just cause problems with the graphics. Sorry, I haven't done this right. I need to go out 2 blocks. It's been a while since I built the other bogie. So let's see if we get this going right. Okay, that looks better. So what I'll do now is I'll bring a bar backwards, so we fit all the tyres on. And right here, fit all the tyres on. Put the bearing, I think that's the right spot for the big ones. So that basically gives us our length and where everything's going to get positioned. We're going to do the same on this side. So the challenge is with this, it actually needs 2 tier 5 engines, tier 4 electric engines per side, because we're running 6 wheels, we're going to exceed the power output of the connections, for the electric engine. Now, here's where it gets interesting from the build point of view. This tyre is running out exactly in this position, but what we're doing on the corners, we actually have a set of tyres running without suspension in this position. Just see if I get it right. Nope. I'm going to take this off the lift and re-grab it. So if you ever want to work on something like this that's symmetrical and having troubles getting to access to your middle, put a rod on it, pick it off the lift, put it back on the lift, and now from a working on a point of view, I've got access to the bottom. And it means what I can do is just take this off at the end, and we've got access to how it goes. So I'll put the track back out this way as well, just for demonstration. So the track is 2 blocks tall, so that's what we're looking at here. So what we're trying to do is get that wheel for the inside to line up. I just used the wrong block. So what we've got is 1 block in. Now this tyre without suspension forces the bogie not to fully collapse. With this piece, the tyre can move in and outwards, and because it's on a moving piece, the game can make it flick under rails and things like that. So so someone asked me, how do I keep it on track? So, and then what I'm doing here is for the rear one is we're just lining it up with the back tyres as well. So stick the wheels on here quickly. So that's a tier 4 suspension. It doesn't need to be any higher. So we'll do the same on this side. Suspension block. Bearing. Wheels. And then what we want to do is get the wheel from there to line up again. So it's going to line up on this location. So someone was asking me how do I keep it on the track. So speed wise, first of all, don't go too fast. Second of all, these wheels are actually set to full strength on this suspension. So all of these have to be set to full. Get this side set them to full as well. And that's the basics of the bogie. Now, how to link on the actual loading platform is lined up with the center here, the center of this bearing, this tire. We need to get the center of this piece here, which is here. Oh, I just deleted it. That was a bit silly. Let's all weld it back together. This was the rear one. Okay, we all make mistakes. Some of them are easier to fix than others. Okay, so what I'm getting at is the bearing for the trailer. Oh, you need to come up a little bit as well. So we need to get it above the wheels. We're getting tight spaces now. So the platform needs to be above the wheels. Let's just check that. We're not high enough yet, so I need to go up another one. So we're still crashing into the tyres, and we're finally clear of the tyres. So what I usually do is go one above that. So this is the bearing position for the trailer. And the reason to go one above it is the wheels can move around, they can get a bit of twist and torque on them, and it won't affect, they won't interfere. So the other thing to do is we want to get a strong block connection. So I'm going to put a block on here, and this is where our trailer comes out from. So this becomes the body of the trailer. To get strength onto this block, what we can do is put this get a curve block, pipe, get a pipe on here, and so I know it's the connection to the trailer, I'll add pipe on top as well. I go in this direction. Now because we've got a bearing, oh, nope, we need a bearing at the top, bearing, pipe. Now a bearing needs something connected to it in order to weld, so I could have come all the way around and did like the pipe I did, but the bearing won't weld, so what you got to do is put a pipe or a piece of material so you can then weld. So if we now check it, I've got 2 bearings, so that makes this bar very, very stiff, and that's what we need. Now you would notice when I'm driving, the whole car gets twisted upwards and to the side and angles on each direction, and that's because this bearing is so stiff it's not getting torn out of position and staying quite in place. Yeah, so the other bogie is built like this but facing the other way around. That's basically how it works. Now the suspension at the front and rear is what keeps it on, and the other thing that keeps the car on is the 2 rails. So what I'm going to do, just to give you a quick more demo, is we'll now grab this truck, and now you know what you're looking for. So I've got suspension there, suspension, the inner tyres, suspension, and I've actually got to run 4 electric engines because we're running so many tyres. So that will give you an idea how many connections are up there to run all the tyres. The rest of the other coloured connections are for the logic for the tailgate and that sort of stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just get these few bales on board. Where's my sensor? Here it is. Just push those on. So I won't do a full load, I'll just go with what we've got. So now what you're looking for is seeing the suspension pieces wriggle in and out, and what I've done as well is the track is wider than the suspension, so I'm not actually pulling it tight all the time. So here it actually spreads out, and that gives you a bit more smooth running for it. So I was also talking about the torque. It's got enough torque to slide the whole thing out of place. So what I'll do is come down here now and show you the last feature of the bogie is I actually have a bar running here which is red. I'm going to show you that here. So we run a bar here, across here, and then what I've done is the suspension pieces are connected up and over the bar. So what that allows the suspension pieces to slide back and forth, but it won't. It keeps it locked onto the bar, so it stops the tyre from falling. One of the things scrap mechanic likes to do is let this suspension piece be sagging. When it sags, the wheels drop low and it will fall off the track. So what I've done, that blue one is the suspension block, so I've just come up and hooked the suspension over the bar. And I only have that running on the front of each bogie, so it's the front of that one, and the front of that one, so you can see that the silver blocks are wrapped around the bar, and that gives me even more stability on running my truck. Why am I going this way? Oh, I let myself get turned around. I'll have to pick my truck up. I'll go run these out to the station. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.